Hello to the one person watching. I don't know who you are. If you know me personally, you can type in your name or something so I can know who you are. But thank you for watching anyways. Okay, what's up guys? Anthony here. So, last time I live streamed this stuff, I was working on a resume, AI resume thing. So basically what that does is whenever you know how they say I'm gonna brush through what I'm trying to build here. You know how they say whenever you're trying to apply for a new job, you're supposed to tell your resume to the particular job you're applying for. Well, I'm building a website where you can just give it your resume, give it, feed it a job description, and within seconds, boom, you will have a tailored resume tailored to that particular job you're applying for. The last time we worked on this, we built a simple, sorry, we built a simple login screen. So, just to refresh your memories, this is what we did. So, you simply, crap, you simply log in, go to the website. We're gonna feed the changes into. We're not focused on the UI right now. We're focusing on getting the logic out right. So what is going to happen is you're going to go to our website. We don't even have a I don't even have a name for the website yet. Maybe people will help me decide. Log into the website, go through the shenanigans and click settings. Get started. You upload your resume. Boom, I'm going to upload my resume. And it does this little weird thing. You post a job description. This is my job description. And you click submit. And it does this rigmarole thing and boom, gives you a detailed response. Now, what have we done so far? I have only created this so far. This is all we have working for us now, where it's just simply having this show us a UI. So today, I'm gonna set up the backend for this. So I pulled out this so we can understand what we're gonna do. So this is basically what we're gonna build here. I'm gonna try to draw it out, even though I have a terrible drawing skills. So, okay, let's see. Elements. Okay, so user. This is our website. Make this bold. So the user logs in here. So once you feed it your resume, this is just to give you like a visual of what we're actually building. You go to our website. You put in your resume. I'm gonna have something called resume. Make it look like a book. So, resume. Our resume, your resume, goes in here. Into our website. Now, our website. Another thing you feed our website is your job description. I'm gonna name it job. I'll make it here again. So I'm gonna put another one of those. This also goes to the website. So you get your resume, feed it a resume, feed it a job description, and what our website does is take whatever thing you just built, we just sent it, goes to the cloud. In this case, I'm using Google Cloud, so I'm gonna call it GCP. GCP. That's what it's called. Go to GCP. GCP saved those files, extracted because we're gonna get it like a PDF. Extracts the files, extract the variable information from the app, from the resume, and then what it's gonna do is go to OpenAI. And feed it all of this information. hey, Anthony just submitted his resume, and take the resume and the job description and tailor in the, the, the job description. So OpenAI is gonna tailor the resume to the job description. I'm gonna put this underneath here. So once OpenAI does this, it goes back. It goes back here and said, hey, I have the tailored version. So this GCP saves that, converts it back to a PDF, and then returns it back to the owner. Let me take the, oh crap. I'm going to do another note here and call it returns tailored resume. So this is basically what I'm building, right? I think it's a wonderful idea, the best idea in the world, right? So, so right now we currently just simply have a page where the user can just simply walk in and just put a resume. What I just showed you, we can do all of those things, but nothing happens. Nothing happens because we have not connected the UI we just built to this side of things. So what we're gonna do today is connecting the UI to receive this instead, if that makes sense. That will be the goal of today's lesson. Now, let's get started. Now, to make this happen, there's something called, let me go to GCP console. I'm gonna open my console here. Select project. I have a project called a resume tailor. So what we're going to be using for this particular thing is called Document AI API. It's something that is available in Google Cloud, but I believe OpenAI has a version of that as well, but we're not going to be using OpenAI because I'm going to be using GCP. So now let's look at something. 1 second. Now, how do we document GCP? So now, let me walk you through what's going on. So let me back up for a second here while this thing loads. My background is a mobile development. Mobile development is my bread and butter, right? But I am challenging myself to build a website for what I'm trying to do without any knowledge of building a website. So what I'm going to do is harness the power of AI to help me build this website. So even though I'm building this, I am not only building a product I want to sell out to people, but I also want to build something that I can show people and say, hey, you can build a lot, you can do a lot more with AI than you can possibly imagine. So the AI in particular I'm using is, I'm using ChatGPT to ask general questions and all, but the main guy who answers all the questions is some little thing called Copilot that was developed by Microsoft. There's another company called Cursor, which is also really good, but I'm using Copilot because I like Copilot. Cursor is also good. I've used Cursor from a job. So we're gonna do all of this. We've done all that. Click on it, enable it. We've done that. Okay, we have not done this one. Go to IM admin section and create an account since you happen to use. Okay, there we go. We have to go here. What did he say again? I can create a service account that will have permission to use. Okay. We have to create a service account. So I already have a few service accounts. So the question is, should we use the same one, if that makes sense? Don't ask. Do I use existing service account or create a new one? Okay. Okay, fine. We have to create a new service account. That's fine. Just making sure. All right. How do we do this? Okay, let's do this again. Service accounts. I'm going to create a new service account. Does the name of the service account matter? Okay. Okay. So we have to assign a role to it. So we have to assign a particular role, cloud document AI user. So this is what we need to assign to the role. So I'm gonna go to the account we just created and click this and search for this. Son of a bitch. See, this is why I don't like document. Oh. Grant access to view all resources, document. So now the question is oh, document AI API user. Document cloud document AI user. So we have cloud document API user. I only see cloud document AI user. Because you kind of don't want to use everything. You have to know this particular one you're supposed to use. You're correct. When creating a blah, 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 cloud document AI user role should be sufficient enough. As grant access steps. Okay. Wait. I mean cloud document API AI API user. This is what I see. Oh, okay. That row is exactly what we need. So just making sure. So this is what we need. I'm gonna click continue because I'm gonna have to add it and click done. So if I go here, so what we just created, we should have the name for document API user and descriptions. Interesting. There should be more here. Let me see something. Yeah, okay, this is it. We have it here. Okay, awesome. What next? Okay, we have that. Assign a row, blah, blah, blah. Okay. After creating the service accounts, go to the key section, add key, create a new key. Hello, I'm just seeing this. Welcome. Okay, so we have to download the keys. Okay. Nope. Okay, let's go back to where we were. So we have document blah blah, manage keys, add key, create key, JSON. I know for a fact that JSON is what we need, and boom, we have what we are looking for. So I don't need this anymore. Let me delete this. Clear space. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about this now. Okay. All right. So we're following ChatGPT steps here. So I just downloaded the keys. So the next thing I'm gonna have to do now is basically sorry, I'm getting distracted with the chat. So this is something I'm gonna have to get used to, just doing this and talking to people at the same time. So I just downloaded the keys, which is a JSON key like I suspected. Now set up the environment and authentication. So macOS Linux, blah, blah. Okay, we have to run this address. All right. See, this is what, oh my God, this is what I don't like about Apple and their not Apple, but Google. I don't want to do any of this. Okay, so we're gonna have to do this. I'm gonna be strategic with this. Linux. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Copy it here, and then where do we have this again? So I'm simply going to. What did we just download? I'm all over the place today. Okay, AI, blah, blah, blah. Where is it? Okay, AI. So I'm going to drag this here and then close out the quote. Nope, space, no spaces. So I'm going to click enter. Yeah, it shouldn't really respond to anything. So we have that. Now use the account. No, initialize your favorite copies. Okay. Okay. So I just added what it told me to add. Now we want to test and see if our cloud function is working anyways, right? So I really wouldn't want to just do this outright. So I'm going to look up Google documentaries of how to do this. So cloud functions. Okay, space, Firebase, yes. This is the guy. Okay, so I have to do, oh my God. Okay. I have to do this. This I know for a fact. So the index, just TS, import global function, v2 from cloud function. I think I already have that. I don't think I need that anymore. Okay, good. Okay, so here's where I'm confused as hell. So here's what I'm gonna do, right? So I just added document AI API on this cloud function project. I want you to write a code to test and see see if it is fully connected. Let me give it more context so it makes sense. I was to say we have a cloud GCP project with Firebase project inside of it, and we want to use the Firebase cloud function. That is what we are testing. Enter. Let's see what it comes up with. So I'm basically saying, hey, we just connected these two things, but we want to know if it actually works. So the only way we can check and see if it works is just trying something out. So it just dropped a lot of code for me here of what we should be doing, I think. So let's see. Doesn't even explain. Let's see if this runs. Okay, so see, I just added an API in the cloud function that would add the code and to test see if it connects to blah blah. And if we use this cloud test, okay. So let's see what it just added. Okay. Let me click this to add everything. So this is an error which we have to fix, but I'm going to get to that later. So it is saying that we have async, which makes sense. Test document API. Your project ID. Okay. Where's my project ID? Do we even have a project ID? Okay. I see you mentioned a project ID. And we just ran this. Okay, hold on. Downloaded the service key from key JSON file from GCP earlier. I bet you did not know that, but we already ran this command. So I'm gonna say, hey, I know you don't know this, but we already downloaded something that should help us with this, and we ran this command. Now I'm giving it this command to know, okay, this is where this file lives, and we already did this. Let's see what it makes of it. So this gives, sure, it is doing everything for you, but you want to give it as much context as possible. Great. Since you already have blah, blah, blah environment variable to your code, blah, 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 your Firebase cloud would authenticate with GCP document using those credentials. Your test endpoint is correct to check if the API is. Here's how to test. You're ready to test. If you see any error. Okay, so it's saying I'm ready to test, right? So this is where your knowledge of software engineering comes in. So, okay, I might be the dumb one here, but I'm gonna ask it, why am I still seeing project ID? Then why am I still seeing in line 33? Do we have that defined? Okay, let's see. You're seeing project in line because it's a callback value to your code if the environment variable, so blah, 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 is not set in a deployed system. Okay, that's fine. Makes sense. Okay, we have to run this now. The expected results. API document okay. Okay, so we have to run this. We are already running this somewhere, I believe. I think we're running this somewhere. Firebase deploy only deploy. Let's see what happens. God damn it. Okay, we have 6 errors. Let's see what the problem is. Okay, I already see this error here, which I didn't address. So that might be the reason why we're having this issue here. So I'm going to simply copy this stuff and go, hey, I don't know what this is. Can you make sense of this? And see what it comes up with. So I mentioned this in my last video. I'm not just copying and pasting code here. Yes, the Copilot AI helps me go through what I'm trying to do as fast as possible. But at the same time, it really, really helps to know, okay, post this error. And then it explains what is actually going on. And then I can be like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. So next time when I see something like this, I don't go, oh, what is this? I'm so confused. You know, I almost cussed there, but yes. Do you guys see that? Do you guys see how AI just writes all this freaking thing for me and I don't even have to do anything? I'm just sitting here watching it. At first, when you start using, after about 7 years of better if you break down the steps. Hey, what's up, bro? Yes, I will try as much as possible to break down the steps. So I'll iterate again. What I'm trying to do is I have the front end, the dummy simple front end running. Now in programming, the front end is basically a blueprint. This is what it's going to look like, but it's not connected to anything. So what I'm trying to do now is connected to the service that actually powers the whole thing. So when I start feeding the resume and all kinds of things, it's going to understand what it's trying to go on here. So I'm gonna be responsible and then read what happened here. So it's saying all the end type errors have been fixed. Your function is now correct and double quotes blah 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 blah. Oh, this is a freaking length thing. Okay. I don't like that. So let's try this again, shall we? Oh my God. Yes, míos. Okay. I'm getting the same error. And the same damn file. You know what? Let me do this. Yo, are these errors actual errors, or is this a coding style we can disable. Because if I'm reading what the again, I might be wrong, but if I'm reading what the problem is, oh, this should be space between. I'm like, dude, is it? Oh my god, it's a coding style thing. It's really a coding style thing. Okay, it's fine. Now I'm frustrated. Okay, this is a teaching moment here. I can disable this annoying things that is giving me here, but if I disable it and I go really deep into my work, I'm gonna cause something called a tech debt, which is basically writing a lot of shitty code that I'm gonna eventually come back to fix. So I'm gonna bite the bullet now. I'm trying to fix it so we can move on, but it's not actually giving me a real problem here. Okay. Hopefully that corrects the problems. Okay. Okay, keep. Let's run this again, shall we? Fingers crossed now. Oh my god. Okay, did not work. Okay. We're gonna keep doing this. We are going to keep doing this. Oh, I see what's going on. Let's try this again. If it okay, let's go. Let's do this ourselves. There should be a space between. There should be no space after line 27. Okay, let's do this. You know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. Let's do it. Let's do it ourselves. In line 27. Line 27. There should be no space between. There are no space. There should be no space between after. Okay. Let's close it. In line 27, there should be no. Okay. We're going to do it ourselves. Okay. Maybe we're dependent on AI too much. We are going to do it our damn selves. Okay. In line 20 line 30, the line has length of. Oh my God. In line 2, okay, this is not an actual error. Okay, Anthony, do it. Oh, I'll do it. I'll do it. Okay. In line 36, it's saying it should be only 80 characters length, but it's 125. So in line 32, fucking kill me. Okay. I'm not gonna cuss. I'm not gonna cuss. In line 36. Line 36 should have seen. In line 36, there should be space after. There should be space. In line, hold on. In line 36, let me move this shit. In line 36, there should be space after this. This doesn't even make sense. In line 36, there should be no space after. Oh, in line 36, there should be no space after this. Okay. Where's the freaking space? I don't see any space. Oh yeah, I see. So it shouldn't be line 36. It should be line 37 because I just moved this to the next number. So in line 40. Okay, line 40 should be line 41. So line 41 is too long. That's what it's saying. Oh my God, yes me. So okay, I'm just gonna move into the next line. In line 40. Okay, you know what? There should be no space. I'm just gonna look through it because it's just following this stuff. She's just gonna drive me crazy. Drive me mental. Okay. There should be no space. Do we have any other examples? Okay. Oh, you see what? I just saw another one. Hold on. There should be no space here. This doesn't even make any sense. This does not even make any sense. Okay, I'm gonna run this again for the 20th freaking time. Okay. Even if it doesn't work, it should be less errors now. I'm not even mad. Okay. So, well, that didn't work. Okay, I'm going to copy this again. What it's saying is it can be fixed with the fix it option. So I'm going to add ChatGPT. Sorry, OpenAI. What does it mean by the fix it option? And can we use that? We're just nitpicking here. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Let's do something. Let's run this. I ran and got this. Okay. Okay. So to preface what I'm doing here, I am trying to simply run a simple test. So let me go back to our diagram here to catch you guys up. Not that. So I have the website, which is just a simple UI of what we're building, which you can see here. What I'm simply doing today is we're simply going, hey, let's go here and install something called a document install document AI API. So this is what we're doing now. This is what we're trying to try now. We're trying to install document API to our project. Now I have actually installed this. I've actually connected it to my project. And now what is going on is it is saying Screw you, Anthony. Basically, that I have to correct a lot of non-important things to make this thing work. So that's what the problem is. So once I can fix that issue, please compare to version override. Okay. Once I can fix that issue, we can continue. Okay. Okay. See, now we're down to one error, which is good. Which is good. Okay. Which is good. So we have one more error. Okay. So we went from 8 errors to 1 error. So we're close. So unfortunately, guys, for those of you who are not really familiar with computer programming, this is what it is. It is a lot of back and forth in very unnecessary things, unfortunately. So sometimes things get in your way and you just have to like freaking jerk it to move. Okay, hopefully. There you go. This is what we're looking for. There you go. Okay. Okay. Okay, it is working now. Where should we see our output? So it's saying we should see something like document API, document AI API connected, right? To view output, find the URL. Open your URL. Okay. Let's see. Well, that didn't work. Okay. How do we test this? Oh, okay. So we need to find the deployment logs. Let's see. So we ran that deploy, blah, blah, blah. We are looking for the deployment logs here. Oh, here it goes. Here it goes. Okay. All right. So, moment of truth. I'm going to run this and see what we see. and we have something. Let me zoom in for so you guys can see what I'm saying here. Plus, 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 plus. Boom. This is what we're expecting. This right here is what we're expecting. Actually, I'm gonna leave this open. So we have API connect. So if I go here and I change, and just OMG, I cannot believe it. So if I save, if I go here and I refresh, I see it now. If I change the text, do I go and refresh it? Oh my God. Okay. If I run this again, and I refresh this, I simply just change the message. I'm trying to see if the message actually changes. Okay, if I refresh this, okay, let's see. Let me try something else. Well, that is not working. Okay. Let me try something else. Okay, functions. Oh, there you go. If I view logs. Okay, we don't need to do any of this stuff right now. All we know is it's working. And we can prove that it's working through whatever this is, if that makes sense. So, 1 second. I need to plug in my stuff. Okay, so back to this. So we know this is working. So I want to ask some questions here because now we have to receive a PDF and get information from a PDF. So to understand how to organize my function calls do I want to retrieve a PDF document which resume and document AI API will read it and get the context of it and print it out for me. So I know we're sending this document to to OpenAI to parse for us, but here's the thing: there are things in the resume that we don't really care about changing, like the person's first and last name, the name of the company they works for, the date, starting date, and any date of the company they works for, right? Their email address, their home address, because people put those things in their resume, their phone number. We really don't need to change those things. The actual things we're changing are two things, which is when you have a resume, you have a company you work for, start date, end date, and then you have the bullet points underneath those things and saying, oh, I did this, I'm an ass kisser and all of those things. This is how I, simped for my job or whatever. If you did all of those things, these are the things we're changing. That and also the skills side of things is the bullet points underneath every job and the skills part of it. Let's say you know how to Excel and you put it on the side as a skill that you know. Those are the things, the two set of things we're changing. But as of now, because we're taking baby steps, I'm going to ask AI to say, you know what? Why don't you see if you can extract all the text first and print it out for us to see if it works. So, for me. So, here's what we're going to do. How do I organize that? I know I have a source code index here, so I want to know, do I create a new file, function file? Do I create a new function file? Oh, what? All right, let's see what it says. I'm asking this question because, like I said, I've never built a project before on a website doing this. If I was building a mobile app, I know exactly what I'm going to be doing, but I'm as confused as you here. So I'm trying to figure out, do I do this what way or what other way do I want to do this? So let's see what it says. To organize your cloud functions for processing PDF, here's a common approach. Create a new function for PDF process. Keep your test endpoint for connectivity checks and then add the new function. Keep all your function exports in index, for example. Okay, so it's telling me how to do this. So I'm going to ask it, is there, because I can create a function class myself, but you never know. There might be a command to actually create this function. Is there a command to create a function? Let's see what it says. There are no specific command. Oh wait, I mean a command, not a comment. Jesus Christ, Anthony, get it together. So okay, let's see what it says here. To create a new function, cloud function, yeah, no specific. Or I can just manually add the files like this. So I'm gonna send what is suggested before. Okay. So he suggested this before. So let's see if you can. I guess there's no way you can manually do it. Yes, you can absolutely organize your files, adding them manually. Okay. Awesome. What I suspected. So I'm gonna create a new folder. I'm gonna name it. I'm gonna name it functions. I want to make sure. Okay, new folder. I'm gonna name it functions. And inside functions, I'm gonna have another folder. I'm gonna do a new file. It's gonna be this. God damn it, no. So I'm gonna create a new file and I'm gonna name it this. Okay. I just created a new file. Now add the necessary code to execute our objective. Let's see. Oh my God, okay. That's not what I told you to do. Wait, it made two files? Oh, okay, my bad. I'm gonna delete this stuff. Move to trash. Okay, I didn't know Copilot. Okay, you learn new things every day. I didn't know Copilot can actually create a file of himself and do this thing himself. So let's go through what it just did. So it basically just created all of this code here to grab the PDF file that we just sent it to, right? So the question I have for it, I have two questions for it. So, okay, we have all of these files. Where is it gonna live? Where when we upload this file, where are we gonna receive it? So, where is the output of this? Okay, where can we see the output of this file? I think I know where we're gonna see it. The way we just saw the other one, and the way we're doing this here, I think this is how we're gonna see it. So I'm not gonna answer that question. I think this is how we're gonna see it. I think this is how we're gonna see it. Okay, but okay, so we have done the backend side, the cloud function side, right? But if you remember, we have this right here. We actually have to connect it to this right here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to crap. No, not that. We're gonna go to the front end. So I have, remember when I first said this, I have two files inside of one big file, which is for the front end and also for the back end here. The front end, when I say front end, is actually the website where the user sees. The back end is where all the magic happens. So from the user's perspective, is everything is just magic and it just appears in the screen. So, all right. So we actually have to connect this stuff to the front end. So where do we have this? We have source, we have app. So I'm gonna add these two things here. Process here. Now connect the document AI API logic we just created to the Angular front end. Okay, so what I just did is say, hey, you see this code we just created, which is this? I want you to connect it to here. I want you to connect it to this. So whenever the user does, we're actually getting the information we need. So let's see. There's something else I want to do, right? This is going to be the first page the user sees. So let's remember something here. This is going to be the first thing the user sees when they log into the app, which I'm trying to give them value by actually showing them the thing to work in the first place. So when they actually log in and become a full paid member of the app, this is not what they're going to see. They're going to see a much more better defined page. This is just the landing page the user is going to see. So I'm going to tell Copilot this. Now, so I'll type it out, then you can see, and then I can explain what I'm trying to say. So now, this is the landing page. This is what the user will see when they first visit the website, but when they become a member, the view will be different. So make the Angular code logic, make the Angular type script code logic reusable for when the to use in other future screen component where the user will do the same thing once they are fully logged in. So fully once they create an account. Okay, let me explain what I just said now. So I said I'm telling Copilot, okay, we have the front end check. We have the back end to scan through the documents check. Now, here's what I want you to do. Sure, I want you to write a code that connects the front end to the back end to do this. But I want you to write a code in a way that is much more robust, whereby when the user actually logs in, this is not what the user is going to see. We're going to use that same logic in other components. So we're not just writing double code where it is doing the same thing, if that makes sense. We're not repeating ourselves for the same places. So we're trying to make our code cleaner, modular, and very, very reusable. A reusable code is a good code. Enter. Let's see what it comes up with. It should be here. I don't know why I added that in the first place. My bad. Wrong place. I'm for now connected to the API. Oops. Okay, let's see what it says. Now connected to the document API via a reusable service. This service handles the API call and can be injected into feature component, making the logic modular and maintainable. To finish that up, update the API URL and resume person service with your deploy cloud endpoint. Interesting. What do you? I think I know what he means, but I'll ask him because I'm dumb. What do you mean by cloud endpoint? I say clean. Oh my God. What do you mean by cloud endpoint? Okay. Tell me. Okay. Okay. HTTPS. Oops, my bad. This is the cloud endpoint. So you put it where it needs to be. So it's telling me I need to put it in my cloud endpoint. I'm like, dude, why don't you do it yourself? You know this better than I can. So you better put it yourself. So let's see where it put it. Oh, okay. Got it. So it just added the cloud endpoint stuff, and now I'm gonna click save. So how do we test this? It's gonna ask me to redeploy again. Hmm. Okay. Okay. So I have to run this again. So let's open this. And we're going to say npm start. Of course. Okay. We just keep going from one error to another. So I'm getting another error. So I'm trying to run the front end, but it's not working. So I'm going to do it again. Where did I start this from? Oh my God, yes. Okay, ls. Okay, cd front space enter, and I'm gonna do this. Oh God damn it! You know what? Okay, this is expected. Okay, so I think I know what is going on here. Something is failing. So I'm gonna go to developer tools and figure that out. Network, Angular. Nope. Let's see, performance application, network, console, elements. Okay, there's an error here for sure. Um, I am using fucking, but there is an error. I can't even spell error right. Okay. Hmm. Okay. This is driving me crazy. This is driving me crazy. Okay. Oh, okay. Let's see something. Let's see something here. Okay. So something should be happening here, but it's not. So Oh my God. Okay. I'm going to talk to it. I think there is an error in the Angular code. That is why it is failing. Okay. You add it. It's telling me, oh, this is a problem, but you should add this. Dude, that's why I'm using you. There you go. It's working. Oh, God. Come on. It is working. So we're going to try this again. Okay. Let's try this again. Okay. After I click get started and choose an PDF file, it fails and returns this on the logs. Boom, boom. So it's supposed to show like the rigmarole thing and say, okay, we added this, but it's not doing that. So it is failing after doing that. It's basically failing here. So we need to fix that problem. Oh my God. Resume teller functions. I guess. So because we are using a local file, I think it is failing. So we have to enable that to say, hey, this is not fraudulent. We're trying to. This is us trying to do this, okay? You do that. I don't know why you're telling me to do this shit if you can do it. Damn, man, don't piss me off. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I have things to do, okay? I just want, let's go back to what we're trying to do here. I simply just want to pass in my resume. We haven't even got to the job description part. I just want to pass in my resume and to this place and return it. If I can pass in my resume and return it, we're in business. So we know we can now move on to the part where we actually feed it the job description, right? We're not doing this one yet because this one involves OpenAI. Now, let me tell you this. Let me preface this. OpenAI is much much more easier to set up. I've used their API. I spent 4 days. Maybe I'm dumb. Maybe because I'm really dumb. But I spent 4 days trying to figure out OpenAI, Google Gemini AI to use in my app. It was messing up. I just went straight to say screw it. Went straight to OpenAI, and it took me 30 minutes, and I was getting feedback data from OpenAI instantly. So okay. So now we run this. Okay. Let's close out all this stuff. Okay. Let's run it here. You better not freaking fail me now. You can't be kidding me with this shit. Here we go again. Let's go back to index and see what the problem is. Oh. Same problem. I'm just gonna hold on. I'm coming. Okay, guys. As boring as this sounds or seems, I know. This is just the setup foundation part. I promise you, you're gonna see fancy shit later on in the future. You're gonna see some fancy stuff. So, okay, so bear with me. The time is coming when you're gonna see fancy stuff. Okay, let's keep going. I saw your comments. Thank you very much. Okay, let's run this again and see. Hopefully, this works. Wait a second. We already did this stuff. So let me see. Maybe if I do it here. Same thing. Try the fix it option. No. Try the. This is what I was trying to. Same error. Try. Oh, okay. Okay. Let's try that, I guess. Okay, let's see what it says now. So to recap here, what is actually going on? I mean, I need to drag you guys along as much as possible because we're doing this locally, which is localhost 4200. Google Cloud is saying, "Hey, we don't know what this is, so we're not gonna allow you to run weird shit that doesn't look like an actual website that is currently being hosted." And we simply say, "No, no, no, no. Trust us. We're still in testing phase. Just do it, bro. We're basically saying, trust us, bro. We know what we're doing." So I did this, so I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna come here again. I'm gonna run this again. Nope. Not the place. Here. I'm gonna run this function again. I swear to God, maybe I'm gonna disable this length function thing. Maybe that's what I'm gonna do. I have to do what I have to do, right? Maybe we'll. No. I won't let my intrusive thoughts win this time. Okay. Please. Same issue. Okay. Same thing. I think I'm gonna try to understand why this happens and see if I can go around it. If that makes sense. It's gonna fail. It's going to fail. It's going to fail. Yeah, of course it's going to fail. Can we disable this linked errors? Because I'm sick and tired of it. I am sick and tired of this shit. Where did you? Okay. I think it's gonna do it again. I think it's gonna do it again. Of course, it's gonna do it again. Can we disable lint in this file? I just want to disable the entire thing because it's driving me crazy now. It's really, really driving me crazy now. Poop, 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 poop. Oh, I see what the function is. So we are disabling everything here. There you go. There you go. I don't want to deal with this shit anymore. That way we can actually focus on what matters. Yes, I know it's shitty code, but what? Oh my god. Same thing. Same old, same old. Oh. Okay, I think it's trying to fully disable it. I think that's what it's trying to do. I think that's what it's trying to do. Bro. Okay. All linked and serial error have been resolved. The back end. You see, that's what it says, right? It's how AI is working now. Sometimes AI just gaslights you to think, oh yeah, it's working now, and now I'm gonna do it. It's not gonna work. Jesus. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Okay. There you go. There you go. Okay. It's working. So now we need the URL. So now, let's go here. We're gonna do this again. Boom, boom. Oh boy. Still getting this. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. Let me tell you what is going. See, if you can read this, maybe it's too tiny. It is saying that it's rejecting calls from localhost 4020. This is what we have here, because it's suspecting this is shady. So we have to say, hey, dude, calm down. We know what we are doing, and just go along with it. Okay, let's see. Okay. CD Taylor. Okay. CD resume Taylor functions. Okay. Something is off here. Let's see. Okay. Okay, cool. Another freaking error. Oh, I see. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, this is a start. Oh, sorry, I didn't remember what. So I was fixing through the same error here, and but now I'm seeing very little of it. So I'm gonna copy this stuff and show OpenAI. So Copilot, see and see if it understands what it means, because it's saying there's no error. Okay, so it's saying, okay, deploy everything to make sure everything is working. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna go back here and deploy everything. Everything should work now. Everything should work now because we shouldn't have any errors. There you go. There you go. Awesome. Let's see. Okay. That's a lot of text. I kind of don't want to. I'm getting tired, guys. I'm really getting tired. So I just want this to work at this point. Your deployment is successful. Blah 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 blah. Functions were developed, and deployed in Firebase. Next, to test the Angular front end with the deployed. Okay, so now it's time for us to actually test it. Now, moment of truth, guys. Okay, get started. File, choose file, add resume. There's good news and bad news. Good news is we don't see the previous error. The bad news is we're still seeing an error, as you can see here. I don't know if I can make this bigger. We can see an error here, but it's not what we used to see before. So I'm going to ask ChatGPT to fix this. I keep saying ChatGPT is, I use Copilot, but technically, if you look down here, Copilot is using ChatGPT 4. So okay, I see what's going on here. Okay. Shouldn't the processor ID be in the key JSON file that I added? Because it's telling me to add a key. I really shouldn't be hard coding keys. No, the override should not be in your Google service key. The key is okay. Use an environment code. So I don't want to hard code the number here, which is not what you're supposed to do. So it's going to use an environment code. And an environment code is a file where you put all the things you need. But at the same time, when you push your code to the internet, you don't actually take out, you can make those things stay on your computer and not deploy. So it's the best practice not to have your code here. So let's see. The code to use for the ID. Wait a minute. Let me see where this is. Let me see. Oopsie. Okay. The code now uses document ID person environment variable for the processor ID. Next step is set your processor ID in the Firebase config. Update your code to read the config. Okay, I'm confused. Where do I get wait up. I don't understand you. Hold on. I don't understand what you want me to do. Where do I get my process ID? Okay. Hold on, guys. Let me get this process ID thing. So I think I have to create something called process ID, right? So make sure you're in current project. Okay. You see the list of processes. I don't see it on GCP. On cloud. Firebase. So I can check Firebase. Okay. Yeah, I am in the correct Google Cloud. Make sure you're in the correct Google and you will see a list of processes. Dude, I don't see anything. Overview. Maybe if I send you a screenshot of what I see, you'll get it. Because I don't see anything. See? I don't see any here. Okay. I want to finish this so we can end today, but choose process type. Okay. AI. So AI. See. Okay. Moment of truth. So I have to run this. So okay. To piggyback where we're coming from here, I have to take my process ID, which I don't think I can show you guys that on screen. I think it's personal, but I'm just gonna replace it with what it's telling me to do here. 1 second, guys. Okay. Okay. Let's see. You seen this or because the Sierra is doesn't know which protein. Okay. Okay. I suspected that, so I'm gonna go back to this project we're on, and I'm gonna run the same thing. Forgive me. Let me do this again. Fireball. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, let's do this again. Okay, run. Sorry, you can't see my screen. I think this number is very private, so I am doing it on the far right side of my screen, so you guys don't see. So forgive me. Okay. I think it's working. Okay, I think it's working. So I just gotta run this again. Okay, good. Awesome. So we have this running. It is running. Now what? So now I guess the solution is to go back to this place. Okay. Oh, this would be helpful. Okay. So here's what this is. This is called the Firebase log. So if I run it, it should be giving me everything going on. So if something happens, I would know. Okay. Moment of truth, guys. Moment of truth. Let's come. It's stressing me out. Okay. Let me go back. So click started. So there shouldn't be any error here on the right hand side. There shouldn't be anything here, hopefully. So click started. Choose a file. I choose my resume. Same thing. Okay. You know what? None of them mad, okay? I am determined to fix this. I am determined to fix this. The fuck is this? Sorry guys, I shouldn't be cussing. Okay, let me run this again. Oops. Oh, okay. Let's see. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. When your code is making you look bad. Okay, let's see. Okay, there you go. There you go. Okay. That should work. So it is failing, but it's not actually telling me why it is failing, right? So what is it called? What the code is doing is saying, okay, guys, let us put an actual, let's print out what the failure is. So it's saying, so it doesn't just give us something generic. Let's actually pinpoint what error is. That is why it added this console thing here. This is where it's going to print error. So I'm going to go ahead. It's telling me to run this, but I think I'm just going to run everything. It makes more sense. It shouldn't fail. No, it's not going to fail. Yeah, so it didn't fail. So there's no need to isolate everything. So let's see. I wasn't expecting the stream to go this far, if you know what I mean. So, same old, same old. You start coding and you think, oh, it's going to be easy peasy. You always think it's going to be easy. Do you know, this morning I asked ChatGPT, how long do you think it's going to take? Is it going to take me 24 hours to write this? ChatGPT was like, yeah, it's going to take you 24 hours to do it. Maybe I'm dumb. Maybe that's why. Okay. It's going to fail, but we need to know why it's failing. The heck is this? No. Is it actually telling us why it's failing? Let me try this again. Let's try this again. Keep your eye on here. Let's see. Okay. Okay. CD resume. Your current is but the log show no error message. Okay, just lost a word. Okay. Okay, so we added the processor ID that we just created, and it's saying this might be occurring because of wrong processor ID, right? So it's gonna try to print the processor ID to see if it works, right? So let's do that, I guess. Okay, run. Okay. Let's run this again. Oh my god. It's causing me stress. Or at least we're not still facing the same generic problems. This is just something else. To be fair, it's always good if you're getting a consistent error and you stop getting that error and you start getting another thing, it usually means you at least you're progressing. So let's see. Okay. 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 So this should be network. Oh, I made a mistake. I made a huge mistake. I made a huge mistake. Okay. I was on the wrong place. You know, I should be on the network, so we should know what is returning. So if I do this, it's failing. And you can tell this, you can see this because my face is blocking it. You can tell it is failing because I'm getting this error here and this. I shouldn't be copying this. I should go here and do not payload but response. Boom. No processor fucking ID provided. I just gave you this ID. Okay. Okay. We're gonna hard code this shit. I think that's what we're gonna have to do. So I don't want to hard code this shit, okay? Okay. Yeah. The freaking processor ID is there. Maybe there was a typo. Maybe there was a typo. Hold on. Let's see. Document AI, processor AI ID, processing. Oh, okay. Okay. I think I know what the problem is. Wrong naming. At the end of the day, it was kind of my fault. So we're going to do this again. It should work. One problem. Bitch, you better. Okay. It's working. So if we go back to this, let me drag it closer so we can see. If I refresh this, this should go away. Click started, add resume, boom, boom. same thing. Okay. 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 Oh, my bad. I didn't actually. Oh my god. Okay. 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 This is absolutely my fault. Let's try this again. Refresh. Upload resume. Fingers crossed. It's probably gonna fail. Yeah, it's gonna fail. No ID response. Okay. No, 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 no. I have to run it again because I didn't actually save my file, which you're supposed to do. So I didn't save my file, so I'm running it again. I've been streaming for 2 hours. Jesus. Okay. Okay. Now let's try this again. Get started. Upload resume. Oh. So basically, this red stuff shouldn't be happening. Whew. Okay. Mhm. I'm telling Copilot that, hey, I'm still getting the same error. So it is not seeing the thing here, but we named the file something else here. So it's asking me, if, okay, we're not seeing this in all this place. Do you want me to change the code to this? I'm going to say, sure. That should solve the problem. We hope that should solve the problem because we just created this ID in the Google Cloud, and we're still facing this issue. So I don't know why you're telling me to run this thing all by itself. Sure, I guess I can do it, but I mean, come on, dude. It's probably gonna fail again. Okay, build was successful. So let us try to run this again. So I understand what this code is doing, right? So there are like sections of this cloud function, right? If we're experiencing error in one place, what we're doing is we run that particular place to make sure everything is good before we run the entire project. But if you think about it, if we have now we only have one function, right? To just grab the resume. If we had 200 of this, we kind of don't want to run everything all at the same time. That would kind of defeat the entire purpose. But Running a subset of it makes sense. Oh no. I'm gonna have to run this again. So running a subset of it makes sense, you know. Let me see if I can cancel. Run again. Because I haven't saved my file. Mind you, I just want to bring this up. I'm only able to do this thanks to Google Cloud. So they offered me a $300 credit. Now somehow I have burned through that $7 of this. I don't know how that is even possible, but it's saying I've burned through all of this. So with all those calls I've been making today, I don't want to wake up tomorrow morning and see a giant bill here. That would be really, really sad because we don't want to pay for this stuff. We don't want to get to the point where we have to pay for this stuff. Okay, I know this is working. So awesome. Deployment is complete. So let's try this again, shall we? Okay, this was the first one we tested, and this is the second. This is the one we're testing now. Usage. Oh my god. We have made 32 calls. Even though they're all shit, it's recording everything. Okay. 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 Hold on. Refresh. Let's do this again. Let's see what the error is this time. Same error. So I'm gonna do it the shitty way. That's what I'm gonna do because we have to move on. Before I do that, I'm gonna ask Copilot a few questions. Same error. What if we hard code it? But before we do, how will this be done in production? So I'm saying before we hard code this stuff, which is not advisable, but we're running out of time. We don't want to keep going through this rigmarole all the time. So what do we do? Should we okay, in production, you should set the processor ID using Firebase environment configure as you tried before. This way you never need to hard code the screen code bit. I'm just gonna get it from the website so we don't. Okay, let's run this again. Okay, so it's saying in production we should do this. Let me ask it. But why is it not fine then the process now? Let's see if this is done. It's still going. Okay, I'm gonna try it. Here's what I'm gonna do, right? I'm gonna try running hard coding this and running it. If it works, then I'll revert it back into see if I can have this work because you kind of don't want to hard code, you know, important information, delicate information like that. It doesn't bother me now because this is production code, so doesn't really not production. This is development code, so it doesn't really matter. But let's see. Okay, wait, hold on. Let's refresh again. Take a deep breath. Think of something good in your life. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Choose file. It works. It works. Whew. Okay. Okay. It works. It works. Okay. It freaking works. Here's how I know it works. So let me show you guys. This is my resume. This is my normal personal resume, right? Doesn't matter. I don't live there anymore. So, but this is my resume, right? Now let me show. So what I am doing is I scan it, upload my resume, even before I start typing in my job description, right? This is what my code is getting. My code is getting every single thing from my resume. So it starts with my text iOS engineer, text style, pages, blah blah. The heck is this? Oh, so here's what it's doing. I don't think I know what this is doing, but I think I know what it's doing. But let's keep going. Let's keep going. You know what? I misspoke. I don't know what the heck it's doing. Okay, so text Anthony's resume. Okay. I know what's going on. Okay. I think so. It says here text. So Anthony, who is it? Which is my name? Senior engineer, blah blah. Senior iOS engineer. What's my resume? Senior iOS engineer, blah blah. See, I have about me here. So let's see. Contact information was from name, blah 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 blah. Email address. About me. Experienced iOS engineer. Experienced iOS engineer developed with strong background in leading full full projects life cycles. So if I go here, it's the experienced iOS engineer. Next. So if you notice, you're seeing this slash, and which is just saying next line. So if you go experience iOS, next line. If I go here, you see experience iOS, next line. So not only is it this is the beauty of this. Not only is it taking the text from it's actually saving every position of the way everything is designed. It's actually saving all of those things, which is super cool. So it is extracting the PDF. Now, the last thing is build. So the last word is built by the team. If I go here, adhering to performance is the last word. Adhering to performance. So what this simply means is it is getting everything that it needs, but at the same time saving all the positions. I honestly don't know what the rest of this stuff here is, but it makes sense. Now, this is working. Now, remember what I said. We don't actually need all of the resume. We need a subset of it, if that makes sense. Okay, let me use my resume here. We don't really care about the email and password. Honestly, maybe we can change this. But your job title, your name doesn't change. Here's the meat and grind of it. Everything here is what changes. Everything here is what changes. Everything here is what changes. If that makes sense. Other development software, this is the places we're going to change. We don't really care. We're not going to change the job title, the company. This is the meat of the whole thing. This is where we need to change. So the next work we're going to do now is finding a way to extract the actual things that we need to change. The actual things that, like where I went to school doesn't really matter. That's not going to change. But here's where the complexity comes is telling the code, hey, by the way, this is what we need. And here's the kicker. Everybody's resume is completely different. This is how mine is designed, but everyone's resume is completely and utterly different. So that's the beautiful thing about this is I'm going to have to figure out a way to take all of this things out. But I'm going to stop for today. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and take this stuff out. Fine. Wait. Obviously, that's not going to run. But I don't want a hard code thing here. I need to find a better way to do this here. So I'm going to take it off. So we're going to stop here for today. So let's go back to what we actually, it's a good thing that I actually made this thing so we can understand what's going on. Let's go back to what I actually did today. Where is it? So we built the UI, the website, which is what this is. Let me take that, which is what this is. We have already built this, right? We built the UI. So now we are actually feeding information to the UI, which is saying, hey, take my resume, which is a PDF file. When I feed you my resume, when we were having the problems, I was having a problem because whenever I feed the resume to the app and take it to GCP, it was failing because of the document AI thing was failing to get a project key. It comes when you create when it comes to the project key. It was having a problem with the project key. Now, when I hard coded the project key, what is happening is when I feed in my resume to this, it is now successfully extracting it after I hard coded the project key. Now, the next step you would think it is to connect it to OpenAI and OpenAI will give us all the information. No. That's not what you're supposed to do. Even though it's tantalizing right now, believe me, I want to jump straight to OpenAI. But it's the fun part. But here's what we have to do. We have to tell our code and say, hey, these are the things that we care about. These are the things we want to change. Nothing else matters. These are the things we want to change. So that will be the next thing I'm going to do is to figure out a way to do it. Now, the question, do I know how to do it? Absolutely not. this is the whole point, is we're doing this and we're learning, right? So that's the end of my stream today. I have streamed for over 2 hours doing this stuff. So I'm hungry as hell. My mouth is dry as hell because I've been talking.